Hello everyone, I'm BraysZombieOverhaul+FA, and welcome to CraftWorks Season 3, Episode 4? 5? I don't remember at this point. Things have kind of been a blur, and I need to say, as you probably already know from the title of this video, I have made a really big mistake. As you may have already maybe gathered from the past few videos, I recorded way too much footage. I cannot keep up with the footage that I recorded, and there are things that are coming up quite quickly, quicker than I expected, and I kind of need to just quickly run through things right now. It is absolutely not the way that I wanted things to go. However, I think this is the best plan of action, and that is I'm gonna hopefully give you a quick-ish, no, it's not gonna be quick, I'm gonna give you a tour of all the things that I've done. I'm super excited to show you all these things. Again, it's not the way that I wanted to be able to show you these things, but I'm really excited to show you these things. I've been really excited to do that because there have been so many things that I've been working on. But the reason I'm doing that is I need to streamline things a bit, as in a few weeks I'll be going on a trip, and I want all of you guys to be caught up on all the things that have happened so far. We've already gone to a trial chamber. I have ancient debris gear. I actually I have a full set of debris up netherite gear. In fact, I'll show you in my house. I actually have a full backup set of gear too, because if I lost out on that gear, it would really hinder my ability to build more things. But I'm gonna go into free cam for a second. This is the logo that we did on the first episode, which I absolutely love. And I actually started on the path. I absolutely love the path. I'm trying not to spoil things, but it's kind of difficult. I did an orange path. I've done this orange acacia path with the teal, and I just love it. I love it. I love it. I did this on the test server, and I just really wanted to do it again because I really, really liked it. And I decided I wanted to do it around here. And we have it going through some people's houses. I've got some really fun plans for people's starter bases that many people have already gotten some work done. I put in Chains and Pains Jungle Gym. This is a parkour course that I put in the test server too. It was on a much flatter piece of land, so it's kind of dangerous over here, and at some point I want to decorate this area, but there's so many things for me to decorate and build, but I really like it. It turned out cool, and people seem to really enjoy parkouring on it, even though it's an absolute nightmare. Here's the pay rent sign that all of us look forward to destroying. That's all I'm gonna say. We're all very looking forward to destroying it. I'm trying not to look at Wen's area because I don't want to spoil it, because I expect this to probably come out before Wen's video. You already saw my house, which I also absolutely love. I love how it turned out. I'm actually working on bringing down the mud down the hill so that I can also get started on the path. I'm planning to, trying not to spoil stuff and things, I'm planning to take this mud brick path and bring it down across that way and behind me. I'm trying to go through things in order. It's really hard because Wynn's house is right behind me. This is a horse. This is Dibberdormer, Forderdonner, Gordon Todner, Zipdelflautner, Odendorfen. Let me try that again. This is Dibberdormer, Forderdonner, Gordon Todner, Zipdelflautner, Odendorfen, the horse. I needed a horse because I was traveling very far. And we've got Blueberry. We've got, I think this is Crumb. No. Yes, this is Crumb. Got Blueberry, Crumb, Toast, Cupcake, Dubit, Kapadalfave Goddardonnet Fogderhedder Sneffentrelheimen, and Jerry. And yes, I know all of their names. Blueberry, Crumb, Toast, Cupcake, Dubit, Kapadalfave Goddardonnet Fogderhedder Sneffentrelheimen, and Jerry. We also have an allay that I found in the middle of the ocean, and we have this frog that Lane gave me like episode 1, and he's just there. He's chilling. He likes that spot. He has not left. I no longer have walls and walls of barrels. I hope to decorate this area, and I really want to add a kitchen. I don't know if I'm going to add windows or not. Like, I love adding windows, but I don't know if that'll ruin the feel. It wasn't my original plan, but I think it would look really whimsical if I added like circular windows here and there and like a fun chimney. I want to add a kitchen, and I want ancient debris cinnamon rolls for the kitchen because ancient debris looks like cinnamon rolls and I want them. This is my new storage room. This used to be the bee room, and then it used to be the furnace array that wasn't automatic because it wasn't super efficient, but we have the furnace array here that goes into here. I will explain why I have dyes here in a second. I have a composter. This is like my crafting area. I've got I have 3 walls of barrels, and then we have some piles of barrels. This is just like stone and deep slate. I have a ton of it because I will show you in a second why I have tons of stone. You'll find out. And these are kind of miscellaneous things that I've organized that didn't really have a place in these walls. These barrels are very full. Like very, very, very full. There's a few that aren't like totally full, but most of them are full. The only reason that one's not full is because I haven't swapped this over to the other barrel, because I actually need like absolutely tons of basalt. Over 64 barrels full. Like, that's gonna take me a while for a project. But anyway, I made it look like a little cave. Not little cave. I made it look sort of like a cave. I put like moss down and mud, and I put these muddy mangrove roots to like mimic roots coming off of here, and like a mossy boulder. This is a golden apple tree. These are actually my skull, but there's a lot of them. I really wanted the golden apple tree. I might put glowberries. Oh no. I'd have to change these out for solid blocks though. Yeah, because glowberries don't go on leaves. Okay, maybe not. I put some lighting in the top to make it not so dim. These barrels are full of concrete powder because I'm planning to maybe potentially do a concrete shop. I don't know if I'll totally keep up with it. Worst comes to worst, if I can't keep up with it, I will maybe sell it to someone, you know? Make a little bit of money off of it. I'd imagine I would make a decent amount out of concrete, but I also know that I'm probably going to use lots of concrete for a lot of things that I'm building. I really like using concrete powder and concrete, so... Right. Then down here, because I needed lots of dyes, in particular I need like green and cyan, I now have sniffers. Remember that one sniffer egg I had? Well, I grew it, and I went out on a short trip somewhere and got really lucky and found another egg. I hatched them both and I started breeding them, so now we have over a stack of each of these. This torch flowers will give me orange dye, the pitcher pods, the pitcher plants will give me cyan dye. Super cool. That's one less thing I have to do. I made a small cactus farm. I might double this up just so I have like an overflow of cactus, so we have absolutely tons of it, as I expect to need it. However, I know Misty is supposed to do dye, so there's kind of like, I don't know. I will probably have lots of dye farms. I didn't want to do it because that's the wrong place. I have like lots of flowers and whatnot, so I have access to lots of dyes. I also got coral because I needed coral, and sea pickles because lime dye. I can get a lot of these pretty easily. Black dye. Melissa set up like a squid farm. Thank you so much, Melissa, because that was something I really, really didn't want to do. Thank you. If I need to help with that, I will. Brown dye. All I can really do is just get tons of cocoa beans, so I'll have to stay on top of that. I don't expect to go through tons of brown concrete, but oof. That's the only way to get brown dye. Ouch. Yeah, so concrete powder. I've been doing that. I'm working, as of now, I'm still working on that shop. But I now want to show you this. You will notice this forest. You may have seen it already, but this is the glowing azalea forest. There's frog lights somewhere underneath here. Somewhere. I don't remember where. Places. This one? Yeah, we found it. Anyway, I didn't do this to the whole forest because I wasn't sure if I liked it, because I also kind of liked this overgrown look. This is kind of dangerous because it's not lit up, but I liked it. I liked that it looks like an overgrown orchard, is why I did what I did. But this actually leads into the community farm. This farm is quite large. It consists of potatoes, carrots, beets, wheat, pumpkins, and melons. It's going to be easier if I show you on the map. Yeah. This outside perimeter here is all of the stuff that I've worked on. I cleared and leveled this out. Like, I spent a lot of time on this farm. Was super unnecessary, but it's super useful because now when people need packed mud, they can get lots of wheat. And now if we decide that we all of a sudden want to use tons of pumpkins or melons or potatoes or carrots or beets, we have all of that. I do still have chickens here. This is for a shop that I have, and I will collect these so these don't get overflown. I don't want that barrel to overflow because entities. I've got a lot of pumpkins here. We've got bone meal here for the things that have been composting because I want this here because seeds. I've got some pathways here. I was gonna do a tree in the middle, but I decided that I absolutely love the view of the TV station. Especially like if I go all the way to the end over here. I'll show you what I mean. Like when you get through the forest, like look at that. Look at that majestic TV station where this field is. I absolutely love it, and it super makes sense for the theme that I'm working on for the mega base. Super excited. Down here is something super secret. Dun dun dun. There is actually like a way to get around here. I haven't made the path because I don't know what it's gonna look like. I'm waiting for more of like Misty's stuff to go on, so I know like where I want to put that. Like, is there going to be a path out this way, or is the path pretty much going to be just through the middle of the farm? That's fine, but you know, basalt boulders and rocks and something super amazing that I love. You can't see squat. I apologize. Let's take shaders off. Wow, you really can't see anything. Okay, I'm gonna put a torch. Wow, putting a torch on my offhand doesn't help. What about shaders? That still really doesn't help. Okay, no shaders. I apologize if it's really dark. I might have to adjust this in post. This is a spooky netherwart cave that's kind of large. There's actually 4 segments. It's really hard to see. Oh man, this is really hard to see on my computer. Goodness gracious. You can see there's a lot of these lanterns. I wanted to use them as like spooky lighting. This actually, I really like how this looks without shaders. But, oh, I need to put this back on. Because these are just really like aggressive in the shaders. And there's just so many of them. They don't produce a whole lot of light, and I wanted to make sure there weren't mobs spawning, but unfortunately this is the quantity of lanterns that I had to use. It's like over a stack of lanterns to make this not spawn mobs, because we're not in an end city, so I don't have the privilege of using fewer than this number. But I want to show you on the map too. This is the size of the farm. These fields are huge. If you harvest one field, you're going to have over an inventory full of netherwart. So the reason I made this farm is for red nether brick, because I also need red nether brick for a future build. But I put a bed here, an ender chest if people need to access it. There's 2 barrels full of netherwart and a crafting table. This is supposed to be like spooky and ambient. I made the walls of blackstone to kind of give that like look that it goes further than it actually does. Like, I didn't want it to just feel like this is enclosed. I wanted it to feel like it went further back and you just can't see, which is kind of an interesting concept of using a dark color to make a space look bigger, because normally you would use lighter colors to make a space look larger, but in this instance, because the lighting is kind of minimal, it makes it look like it goes further because you can't see as much of the light. And this just goes down to like areas you can mine andesite and diorite and granite. I just added that there for people who want to mine that out, because I was finding a lot of it. This is the reason I have so many stacks of stone. Very little of this was cave. And I mined absolutely tons of basalt, smelted it into smooth basalt, got smooth deep slate, cobbled deep slate, soul sand, soul soil. I used a lot of blocks in this, but is also the reason why I have a few barrels full of extra blocks, which is good because I need them for other things. So that's a few of the things that I've started building, but those are only the things that I've started building here. Those are the community farm and What else? Community farm, base. I've extended this. I plan to add like mushrooms here and there, but I only plan to do that kind of like here and there when I get bored and I'm like, oh, I can do this real quick. I'll do that. I guess I'll show you this out here. This is something that I'm going to be working on long term. I don't expect this to be something... All right, these can't be placed on stuff and things. I'll just place this here. I'm going to show you this on the map because it's also easier to see. Many of these things are easier to see on the map. This is the full diameter of what needs to be dug out. As of this point, I have hired the demo dogs, Shash and Kogi, to dig this all the way down to level 73? Yes. No. 37. Ah, darn dyslexia. This needs to be dug down. There's actually some sections over here that are dug down to that area, and I needed to dig a good, not a good portion, some of it out to get sand and gravel for the concrete powder, because I needed tons of it. As of now, I have a barrel full of every single color. This needs to be dug out. I know that I need to chill out and plan less things because there's a lot of things on my plate as of the reason of this video. And this needs to be dug out. I've been collecting materials. I still need to change a few things in creative to like flesh this build out just a little bit. And after I do a little bit of the fleshing out in that, I will get started on some of the bulk materials. I think I have almost everything. I know I'm going to need warped and crimson hyphae? No, they're not the hyphae. It's the top piece of the mushroom. I'm going to need tons of that. I'm going to need lots of concrete, which I'm responsible for, so there's no outsourcing that for me. I'm gonna need tons of it, and I'm hoping to do some like cliff area stuff terraforming because I want this to look good when it like blends out with the area. I don't want it to feel like I just plopped in this build. It's a really large build that as of now, I don't think anybody else has seen the interior of this build, and most people haven't seen this in person, and I'm really looking forward to building this because this was something that I said I wasn't going to build, and then I was like, you know what, I actually do want to build this, and I'm super excited to do it because it's going to be built in survival, and that's just going to be so satisfying. But it's about time for me to take Dibber and go off to the other places that I've also built things. Where's the other barrel of eggs? Well, I guess this is going to be my other barrel of eggs. I'm going to the shopping district to show you some of the other shops that I'm going to show you all of the other shops that I've built, and I'm going to go out to the Hideous Hut, which will make sense in a bit, and show you what I did there. Actually, I might go to the Hideous Hut first. No, I don't go to the Hideous... Yeah, I go to the Hideous Hut first. To the Hideous Hut. Actually, no, we need to go through the Nether portal first. Because... Da-da-da! This is the wrong button. This is our Nether hub portal for spawn. We are planning to move the one that's in the overworld somewhere else. but this is what we have as of now for spawn in the nether, and I love how it turned out. This actually isn't the front. I should go off to the other side because this side is actually the front. This is the nether portal. Da-da-da. I'll show you without shaders. This is a build that when Lane and I all collaborated on. Andy, she did the belt and the sword hips. So Lane, Wen, E, and I all worked on this. This is like a giant sword. Wen worked on like the hilt and the pommel and the handle, and he did like the rocks, and he redid the pattern. This pattern didn't actually look like this when we first did it. It actually was concrete powder and wool, but the problem is string doesn't prevent spawns anymore, so we were getting pigmen and stuff, and it was a whole, yeah, like we don't want pigmen and zombie piglins and piglins and zombie piglins. We didn't want those, and so we had to cover it all in carpet, which was unfortunate because it looked really cool, but it still looks cool. Like, in my opinion, we wouldn't have come up with this pattern using the carpet alone. So I still think we ended up with something pretty cool. We got these like rocks and all these particles. I think we might do more with the particles, but I don't know. Yeah, I really like how this turned out, and I'm super excited to get started on more like nether hub stuff. I think the plan is maybe when Lane and I are going to work on some more hub stuff, which will be cool. But I am now off to the shopping district because yes. A lot has changed in the shopping district. I don't even think the shopping district has been shown in one of my videos as of now, but we have this massive mushroom island, and we changed it all from mycelium to grass. Like, this is crazy. There are some things that are still being worked on, but the first thing I built was this cake shop, which I absolutely love and is adorable, and you're gonna hear me say that I love everything that I built because I'm just so happy. I'm just really excited to finally get to show you guys a lot of these builds because I've been really looking forward to showing you guys these builds and just haven't been able to. I've been doing a lot of editing, and it's been kind of difficult because I've not always been super happy with the end result, but I've kind of needed to just be like, okay, but I need to continue on. Like, I've got more things to do. I can't necessarily dawdle, but I'm also kind of like go with the flow. I don't yet fully know how to give that mix of like just kind of go with it and chill, but also like things are kind of crazy and funny stuff happens. I don't fully know how to edit that, but this cake shop, I did it. It was on stream. I was super happy. I love it. I wish this was a building in real life, and don't wander away too far. This is the interior of the cake shop. I absolutely love it. We have some mushroom cows that keep flicking on and off the trapdoors because these are pressure plates. And wrong key. Also wrong key. We have Flutter because full udder. Because this will be the cow that I get milk from when I need to craft things. So in this cake shop, I do in fact sell cake. I have multiple barrels of cake, and we also have some candles. So a cake is a diamond, but you also get a free candle with each cake. We've got stacks of pumpkin pie. That's 1 diamond a stack because it's kind of, you know, a step up from bread, sort of. But it's not like golden carrots. Golden carrots give you so much saturation. And we have cookies. So it's 128 or 2 stacks of cookies for 1 diamond because, you know, they don't give you a whole lot of hunger. I haven't sold much. I don't expect to sell much. This is more supposed to be kind of like a fun cafe cake shop area that's kind of fun to spend time in, and this is the view that I have outside, like the little observatory greenhouse thing with all the plants, because I love plants and you can't tell me otherwise. And I'll get to view all the other shops from here, pretty much, except for the ones out west, no, east. But I really like this cake shop. I like how it turned out. I moved the mangrove cart for like the 3rd or 4th time, and I'm not moving this stuff until I have the other shops done. I've got diorite, roots, and mangrove. Oh boy, I'll tell you that story in a second. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you the name of the cake shop. The cake shop is called The Crumb. I don't think I need to explain more. This is a really cute, adorable shop, in my opinion. This is my 2 cents. And it's a penny leaning on like a mossy rock surrounded by grass. And we got like the dry ground here and a campfire in the middle. It is 1 diamond block per hour. The point of the shop is you can hire me to give my suggestions and ideas, and it's a diamond block per hour. So I just really liked the idea of this shop. Originally, I was going to charge copper because why not? My 2 cents. Pennies are made partially of copper. I think the other part of them is made of zinc. But is it zinc? Yeah, I think it's zinc. Anyway, point is, I don't expect to get much from this shop, but the point of the shop, it's a funny idea, and so I made the shop my 2 cents, and I love it. This is kind of one of my main shops. This is B4U Leaf, so double pun. This is actually not done. I still need to do the exterior. My plan is to do like flowers and like some flying bees and whatnot, but I haven't gotten to that because, well, I got a lot of things on my to-do list and some of them have taken priority. Which means I haven't gotten to this yet, and that scaffolding is temporary because I'm supposed to be able to reach that with Elytra. Oh, you gave me string. for candles. I'm not gonna cry, you're gonna cry. I didn't realize this was here. Oh. Thank you so much, Cube. I need so much string for candles. Thank you, Cube. That saves me a lot of time. I mean it. Like that means a lot. This is my honey shop. It's 2 hive boxes on top of each other, and it's on a platform because bees don't like getting like wet and damp when it rains, and so if the ground gets really wet, like you want them elevated. And the entrance is like you have to squat down in it because they're supposed to be like a specific size, so like big wasps don't get in and like get rid of the bees. But I'm selling candles. It's 1 diamond per half stack of candles. I haven't dyed them yet as I need lots of dye. I'm at the point that I can do that. I just haven't because I wasn't sure if I was going to sell a lot of them. I think in one of the barrel sets in the back here, I'm going to do like singular rows of half stacks or something, or maybe 16, like sets of 16. I don't want to do 16. It really depends on like how much string I have, which as of now I have a lot of string. So I think I can bring the price down, probably. But it's also 1 diamond per stack of comb and 3 diamonds for 4 stacks of comb. So if you're getting honeycomb in bulk, you can get it a little cheaper. And that's the same for the comb blocks. It's actually the same price. 1 diamond for a stack of comb blocks, 3 diamonds for 4 stacks. The honey blocks, that's a diamond for a half a stack, which I'm starting to fill these barrels. Eventually, those candles are going to go in the back. And this is pretty much just extra storage as I've been picking up things from upstairs, which I'll show you upstairs. This, when I get there, this is the storage room for all the bulk, the extra storage, and as you can hear from upstairs, you might know what's here. I pretty much don't come here very often, like at the shopping district. I mean, I pop in now and then, but the fact that like all of these barrels are so full of honeycomb is because people have hopped on and either like popped in to the shopping district really quick, or maybe they've been building a shop. So the farm just runs when people are nearby, but it doesn't run when people aren't. So this isn't even like lots of hours of AFK. This is just whenever people are in the vicinity of the shopping district and close enough to have this farm running. This is 3 layers of bees. The right side is shears and the left side are honey bottles, or sorry, bottles. And all 3 layers are filled with bees for the most part. I don't think the top is quite full to the brim with bees, but I didn't put these side by side. It was mostly because I was doing the redstone wrong. I'll actually show you. All these hoppers run down, and I'll show you. They run all the way down and across this way, and then down. So they fill the barrels from bottom to top, and then forward to back if you're facing this way. But, oh no, that's not the right thing. The reason they're not side by side is you can see the redstone only goes to like the block before the dispenser. I was doing something wrong with the redstone. Basically, if this piece of redstone right here were a repeater and it was being sent into a block that's above the dispenser, it would send a redstone signal into the block and therefore triggering the dispenser. The issue as I was having with these side by side is this comparator reads the contents of the block, is actually reading the content of the block behind it, because there's a stone block in the way. It's reading the contents of it behind it. It's sending the signal up, depending on how full it is, triggering the dispenser. Because it's then empty, it goes back to 0 again. So as it becomes more full, it eventually will trigger the dispenser. But having these side by side, what can happen is one of them gets full and triggers, but triggers too early. So then it doesn't turn off. Because it doesn't turn off, another one will eventually fill up prematurely, triggering one that will not reduce the signal to 0, and that continues until it jams. But if you have a repeater sending that signal into a block, it will send the redstone signal, it will trigger, it'll go to 0, because it's not going to leak over when you have all the repeaters next to each other. So I could have these all next to each other if I was sending a repeater into a block. But I didn't know that was my issue because I don't do redstone. So that was my issue. But so you can put these side by side and you could have them going way faster. I don't need them to be going faster unless I was planning to do a huge build with lots of honeycomb. So that's that shop. I am going to show you one more shop. I think it's the only other thing I have to show you until I just realized that I don't have my horse on me and I don't know where he is. Why did I not fill this in with grass? I'm gonna have to F4 because I have 0 clue. How in the world did he get over there? Good gracious. Ah, boy. Anywho. Hello, Dibber. Okay. I've got one of my other shops to show you. I do apologize for anybody who I'm showing shops of. I don't mean to. I think this might be it. This is Mangroovy. My mangrove shop. Well, sort of. You'll find out why it only sort of. But this might turn into a multi-purpose building. Actually, it kind of already is a multi-purpose building, but it might be multi-purpose. This pattern on the front is supposed to be like that cup design with like the teal swooshes and the other purpley brush strokes. And this is supposed to be like a 90s disco. So we got the disco floor here. We got the skulk walls because it's supposed to be dim in here. The disco ball, that's sea lanterns and lichen. And then these what are they called? Copper bulbs. They're max oxidized. The absolutely hideous floor that also makes crunchy sounds. This floor is hideous, but it's exactly what it's supposed to be. And then we have a DJ station. I've got a whole arrangement of discs. I don't have all of the ones that I want, but we have most of them. And so people can take these out, plug these in. Pigstep, that was Melissa. Melissa donated Pigstep for us to use. And so now you can plug those in. In fact, you can plug 2 discs in if you really want to. And then you can have like a little dance, and have some fun with friends. What I'm planning to do that hasn't been done yet is in the corners, I want to put some like pool tables, but I want to put them on like an elevated platform, maybe. Maybe I don't. Basically, I wanted a way to store bulk mangrove and whatnot, but maybe I just put in some pool tables and call it, because the mangrove wood is actually going to go somewhere else. And I mean, it uses mangrove wood, so mangrovey, woo. I don't know. Maybe I do. Ooh, I do have an idea. Never mind. I have an idea of how I'm gonna store it. I'm gonna make pool tables, and they're gonna be stored in the pool tables. So that way it'll be multi-purpose. And I look forward to it. I do want to do stuff with the outside. Again, haven't done it. Exteriors and interiors, I tend to do the build itself, and then interior and exterior, one of them just goes to the wayside. I don't mean to, but that is what happens. I think I might just do like a really generic looking, like tight, tidy, neat sidewalk or something, and then do like really neat tidy bushes on the outside, something that like makes it look like it's supposed to be neat, but even though the patterns make it hideous intentionally so. Is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else. Everything else is either spoilers or not me. We've got a shopping area here. That's a shopping thing that I've got to work on. Those are 3 of my shops. That's one of the shop. I'll also have the concrete shop. Don't know where I'm going to place that. And I guess I'm going to show you the hideous hut. I think that's the next place to show you. So, the hideous hut. Why does it exist? Why is it called the hideous hut? I have to go the complete opposite direction of the shopping district because they are, in fact, the complete opposite direction of each other. I went on a really long expedition of finding every type of wolf, and I found most of them except 2. One of them was the spotted wolf, and the other was the striped wolf. The striped wolf was is in the wooded badlands, which we have one, but I would have to like make a farm for it because of how small the building is. I would have to spawn proof a whole bunch of stuff and then make a spawning platform just to see if I could get a chance at having that dog. The other one that I have or don't have is the spotted wolf, which spawns in the Savannah Plateau. We have a few of them, but they are all a few thousand blocks away. There's one here. There's one here. is it? There's another one somewhere. This one. As you can see, very far away. There's one here, there's one there. This one that's close isn't technically a plateau, even though it is in fact a flat piece of land that represents a plateau. That's not a plateau. I think there's a plateau over here. I think there's another one. Those might be the only ones that we have. I think we have 3 plateaus and all of them are pretty small. So I made a home here. Welcome to the hideous hut. I just built with all the materials I had on hand. I don't remember why I had a propagule on me, but I had a propagule apparently. It's a house that I lived in that has lots of miscellaneous materials that people are free to take because, sure, this is the bedroom. This is whatever workspace, I don't know. And this is the roof. And those are my acacia trees, mangrove trees, and oak trees. There's not a whole lot going on around here. I pretty much just set up a house so I could potentially find a spotted wolf, and I was very determined. I spent many days just in the vicinity getting rid of other passive mobs and aggressive mobs so I could get wolves, and to no avail. Despite my persistence, I was not able to get the spotted wolf. I then decided that it was about time for me to get started on a mangrove farm, which has some benefit and some drawbacks. I built this from a tutorial, and it works, technically speaking. There's an issue with this farm, and that is if I run the farm, the trees will grow out of here. It will drop like 5 or so TNT down. Most of the time, it gets blown up, the items. So I end up with lots of roots and sticks, but not very many propagules, so it doesn't keep up with me placing propagules, and it doesn't give me a whole lot of wood. When I say not a whole lot, I mean it's faster for me to harvest manually. So sure, I could use it like overnight if I had enough propagules and if the bone meal farm could keep up with it. But it's really slow. And I also have this, which is a different type of moss farm. But as you can see, it has cobblestone. It occasionally spits out a piece of cobblestone, and I have to come back here and remove the cobblestone. I know it has something to do with the timing. It is technically between chunks, however, apparently that's only an issue if I'm not in the chunks, which generally I'm here. I'm within this vicinity, like at most I'm above this hill harvesting stuff manually, and if I plan to leave and do something, like I shut off this farm. I don't leave the chunks, so it shouldn't be unloaded. But it still produces cobblestone, which makes me think there's something with the timing that's wrong, and I don't know how to fix it, but it gives me lots of moss and products. I'll show you what. Originally, it was set up just to do bone meal. So it feeds itself and then spits out more bone meal. I've got moss, I've got flowering azalea bushes, normal azalea bushes, carpets for days. And then this fills up with bone meal, and if those fill up, then this starts filling up with bone blocks. I have a few in here, but that was because I was testing something, not because it actually overflowed, because there's a row of hoppers that goes all the way underneath and actually fills the dispensers that need to use bone meal for that. So like, I don't mind the farm, I kind of like it. However, plans have changed. Basically, this didn't work out, and there's a different farm that I'm gonna use, and I'll show you, like, I'll leave the link to these two farms if maybe it's a version thing, like maybe I'm just in a different version, and it just doesn't work quite the same or something, because I mean, the farms are not my design. I did change the one so that it produced moss and cobblestone and made bone blocks at the end of it, and then shut off the machine if the hopper was full, but I did not make the machine. So I'll leave the links to those in the description, but I'm going to use a different mangrove farm. I'm going to use a propagule farm that I think Toe Blocks made in season 2. I think. I know he made the one that I have plans to build. But I don't know if I'm going to make a smaller propagule farm, because I don't know if I really need like stacks and stacks of propagules. But also then I can just like flick on the machine for a few seconds and then turn it off. Like I don't need to use it for a whole long time. Anyway, summarize. I'm going to build a different mangrove farm that works a lot more efficiently. Like, it produces over 14 stacks of logs in 5 minutes. It's nuts. And because of that, I'm considering dropping the price, not even to just like a diamond per stack, but maybe even like a diamond per 2 stacks, because of how easy it is for me to get that set up. It will use a lot of bone meal, but I think potentially Lane and I are going to like pair up on that, so that I have lots of bone meal for that. But I think, no, I was gonna say I think that's it. I want to show you a few things. We went to the ocean monument and I got skulls, and I has the golden one. I have the golden one. We actually went on a trip and I got almost every single skull I needed except for the Elder Guardian one, but just like a day or two ago, I think it might have been 2 days ago, Emmy needed prismarine, and a few other people did, and I think there was like a thing of like we were gonna do another trip, but I don't think that ever happened. And so Emmy needed prismarine and so did I, and I wasn't doing anything and I was bored, and so I hopped on, I raided a whole entire temple myself and harvested like a stack of each block, except for lanterns. I didn't grab a stack of lanterns. I wanted to make sure that I survived. So I in fact almost died on that trip. However, I got the golden skull and I'm so happy because it's the first. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. I really wanted to get the skull. There's not going to be a lot of skulls that I'm planning to get. I'm probably going to get some of like the... Wait, why did that one change? What's this one? Oh. Oh, for some reason the top layer isn't showing up when it's here, but only for some of them. That's weird. I also needed these for builds. Yeah, we got Plague Whale, Toxaphene, and Guardian. The data pack that we have, which is cool. I absolutely love it. Yeah, we went there. We also went to a trial chamber, which I think I'm gonna release like the stream. Like I might take out a little bit of the empty space, maybe, but I kind of want to release like the VOD of the whole trip because it's a crazy trip. There's a lot of chaos. There's a small piece of me that just wants you to experience it the way that it happened because it's kind of nuts. But oh, and Melissa did these ghosts, and I like they're so adorable, and the pumpkins. Like it's so fun. I should really put a big just pumpkin somewhere. I think I might do that. Do I do that? Is there a spot that I can do that? Is there a spot that's kind of inconspicuous that wouldn't get in the way of sight lines? Not really. There's kind of this spot here, but I think the billboard might get moved. And I don't know if this is enough space for what I would do. And I can't use that spot. We need to put a bridge here to there, and then there to there. Because these two black pixels here are going to be the new nether portal. I don't know. I kind of want to. I'm considering it. Oh, she put the little pumpkins here. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it for Halloween. For the sake of Halloween, I am... Things happened and got in the way, and we just... This season has happened so fast, and people have gone at so hard on this season. It's been amazing. It also means Halloween kind of snuck up on all of us. So I want to do that here as an addition. So I will get back to you on that in a second. You've likely seen a time lapse unless I decided that I was trying to do too much and I should just keep things simple, but if you haven't seen the time lapse, if you have seen the time lapse, either way, here it is. It's a pumpkin. It's a pumpkin that I did on the test server. And I modified it a little bit because, well, the terrain's different. And I added a few little small pumpkins, normal size pumpkins, a medium, like, pumpkin, and then the really large pumpkin. And yes, you can get to the top of the pumpkin. I was gonna try to put a face on it, but I remembered that I didn't exactly make this pumpkin the size that is carvable, so it's going to stay the same, but I'm glad I put this here, and I'm hoping that this isn't in the way of anything. This is just supposed to be kind of like a surprise pumpkin, because I know some people were a little disappointed that they weren't able to get some things done, and it is totally understandable. And so I'm going to look the opposite direction of Wen's house and try to go all the way to my house. Yeah, I wanted to do something so that, you know, just a little bit, little thing for fall, even though I don't need to add more things on my to-do list, but just something fun to do. So I think that's about it. I think that's all I've got to say. I've shown you all the builds that I've been working on. I'm sure you will see more of them as time goes on, because I've got a lot and I do a lot of stuff and things. That's for certain. Maybe too many. Maybe I do too many. That is a fact, not a maybe. But as I organize my storage, I want to say thank you so much for watching. You made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I did touring all the different builds that I've done so far, and I hope to see you next time. So I'm Blazer for Hire. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did, because I really enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. See ya. Bye.